Welcome back to the most news in the morning. Barack Obama and John McCain trading jabs this week over the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. They each outlined plans for the war against terror, including increasing troop levels in Afghanistan. Can Obama win a battle with McCain on military and foreign policy issues? Obama supporter Senator Joseph Biden is chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and he joins us now live from Wilmington, Delaware. Senator, it's great to see you this morning. Saw you yesterday at that conference we both attended. Senator McCain said yesterday in his speech, he said he knows how to win wars. The implication being that Senator Obama doesn't. Do you believe Senator Obama knows how to win wars? And if he does, how?
I do, and he has a much more centered view on what our problems are. Look, John McCain was wrong about the war in Iraq. John McCain says the surge worked, but remember the purpose of the surge. The surge wasn't just to bring down violence. It was, quote, to create breathing room for a political settlement in Iraq. That's the only way the military says we can win a political settlement. We're no closer to a political settlement. Number two, John McCain has finally acknowledged he has to put more troops in Afghanistan or we're going to lose Afghanistan. Over a year and a half ago, Barack Obama said we need 2 more combat battalions in Afghanistan. John said no, quote, we will be able to have a surge later and win that. I'm paraphrasing John. The truth of the matter is John McCain's now realizing the desperate situation in Afghanistan, says we need more troops. Where do you get them, John? He first said we have to take them out of Iraq. What is it? That's what Barack Obama's calling for. Then he says, no, we'll have NATO do it. Then he came back and corrected again. NATO can't do it. We have to do it. The truth of the matter is that Barack Obama has been centered. We're not running for the commander-in-chief of Iraq. The president is running to become the candidate's running to become the commander-in-chief of America's interest in the world. And the central war on terror, John, is in Afghanistan and Pakistan, not Iraq.
A recent ABC Washington Post poll, though, would seem to suggest that Senator Obama has got some ground to make up on John McCain when it comes to this issue of who would make the best commander-in-chief, who's best on national security. It found better knowledge of world affairs. McCain leads him 63 to 26%. And as to who would make a good commander-in-chief, John McCain has got him beat 72 to 48%. How does he make up that ground? How does he instill confidence in the American people that he can do those things as well as McCain?
By talking about it. One of the things that, look, you have a brilliant, relatively young man who is the nominee of the Democratic Party, who's leading John McCain on every area except the one where experience just intuitively suggests people think if you're experienced, you must know more. But 20 years of experience that has not been very solid in terms of projecting what was going to happen doesn't make you a better commander-in-chief. We don't need, as a commander-in-chief, a war hero. John's a war hero. We need someone with some wisdom. And the only way Barack's going to do that is through the remainder of this campaign, taking the issue to John McCain. I'll conclude, John, by saying what you heard me say yesterday. The President Bush's policy, which John McCain has embraced on Iraq and foreign policy generally, has been an abject failure. It's not that democracy is on the march in the Middle East. Iran's on the march. It's not that we're stronger anywhere in the world. We're weaker. So I think Barack Obama should take it right to the Republicans on their failed policy.
Senator, yesterday, Senator McCain said that Barack Obama has never been to Iraq, never been to Afghanistan, intimating how can he really know what he's talking about in terms of his plans for Iraq and Afghanistan. As recently as last week, because I checked on this, Senator Obama had never had a direct conversation with General David Petraeus about the situation on the ground there. He talked to them at the committee meeting, but had never picked up the phone to speak with them. Should he pick up the phone? Should he talk with General Petraeus? Is it important? You've been there 10 times. How important is it to get on the ground knowledge in formulating these plans?
Well, look, I've been there more than John McCain. That doesn't mean that I'm ipso facto more qualified than John McCain. It does matter to go on the ground because you get a feel, a touch. Look, you're a I don't want to hurt your reputation. You're a first-rate reporter. You know, touching, feeling, smelling, just getting a sense helps you get your intuition in tune here. But Barack has had many meetings with military leaders. He's been on my foreign relations on the Foreign Relations Committee since he's been in the Congress. He's had many leaders before it. So the fact he didn't pick up the phone and call General Petraeus does not in any way reflect that he doesn't know. He's talked to the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He's had meetings he's had intelligence meetings and briefings like the rest of us in our committee. So he is fully informed. But it is publicly a very good point for it's a scoring point for John McCain to say he hasn't been there. He's going there now. He's going to have a full view. And I think he's going to find when he gets on the ground that the military is more in line with his position on Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Iraq than they are with John's. Every trip I've made, and I've made a dozen now to Afghanistan and Iraq, the military says we need to draw down to beef up in Afghanistan. That's what Barack's been calling for.
All right, well, we'll find out soon enough because the senator's scheduled to go there very soon. Senator Biden, it's always great to see you. Thanks for dropping by this morning.
Good seeing you. Thanks for having me on, John.